last month in MMA has been pretty lackluster. We had 2 weeks off, 2 decent fight nights, but now we are squarely headed into what might be the best run of the year. And we're going to kick it off with UFC 320. UFC 320 has 2 title fights. It has a rematch in the main event, and it has some pretty competitive matchups top to bottom. My name is Angelo. This is Josh Thompson. We're going to break down UFC 320. Joshua, we do this basically, for a living-ish, but we also just love fights. How annoying has the last month been?
It's really trying my patience, man. I mean, if you're going to not have pay-per-views during that month, at least put in a couple bangers. And we didn't really even get that. I mean, and here's the other thing. I guess I'll take it. I'll kind of support what the UFC has done only based on the fact that there are months. August is a horrible month in general. But then you roll that into September and then football starts. And I think they kind of understood that. So that's why they probably didn't do a whole lot in September. Now, October, they're going to hit it hard with 2 pay-per-views. They got a banger of a card, obviously with 320 coming up. I mean, this whole card is stacked because they haven't had to do much for the last 2 months. But it is rough on us. It is a little rough. I mean, I'm literally in the middle of negotiating new contracts with our sponsors, and honestly, they're probably like, let's wait till October.
Yeah, I'll show you July's views. Let's not focus on right. Let's look at July.
June and July crushed for us, man. Not just you and I, but even for weighing in, man, we did really good numbers, and we pushed almost 600,000 views.
Because you're not competing with any other sports. It's dead summer. Right now, you're competing with football, and the UFC's product just hasn't been great as of late. I am a firm believer in some fights are better than no fights. So I'll take what we got in September. I actually would attribute it more to the Terrence Crawford Canelo Alvarez fight. That screwed September more than anything because Noche was supposed to be a pay-per-view. Mm-hmm. It wasn't a pay-per-view. They blamed the arena and the stadium. That's not it. It's because they were promoting the Terrence Crawford fight on the same night. And I'm saying Terrence Crawford fight, not Canelo, because Terrence won. And they were promoting it on the same night. So UFC, Noche, which should have been UFC 320, took a hit. Mm-hmm. But here we are. Brighter sunshine is on the horizon here. We have UFC 320 next weekend or this weekend, depending on when you're watching it. And we've got a pretty good fight card. Let's look at just the main card. We have Josh Emmett, a top 5 fighter, taking on Youssef Zalal, looking to make his way into the top of the division. Jiri Prochazka versus Khalil Rountree, 2 perennial contenders that have both recently fought for a title. Joe Pyfer and Abus Magomedov, 2 guys on a nice little streak here to see if they actually can be something in this division. The co-main event is Merab versus Cory Sandhagen. And while a lot of people have already decided who they think is going to win that fight, that's still a fight between 2 top 5 guys on the planet that will probably dictate the next sort of era, if you will. If Merab runs through Cory, it is what it is. Merab is still the reigning supreme champion. And if not, then we have a whole bunch of new matchups to make. And then we have the main event, which is a rematch between Magomed Ankalaev and Alex Pereira. Let's start at the top, work our way down. Ankalaev versus Pereira. Before you tell me how you feel about the rematch, how did you feel about the first fight? Did you feel it even warranted a rematch? Or no, that was a pretty straightforward win. Let's move on.
It was a pretty straightforward win, and I thought we should move on. And look, I'm not mad at them doing the rematch. That the division's one of the weakest in the sport, if not the weakest right now in the sport. So they got to do what they can to hold on to their stars. Alex Pereira, no matter what you say about him, he's the man that will step up and fight anytime, anywhere. And look, he's also getting a little bit older in the tooth. Let's not drag this out any longer than we need to. Is Ankalaev going to be the man? Let's go ahead and have him fight, do the rematch, solidify that win. We can move on then from Alex and just make good fights for Alex, and if he wants them. So whoever we can match him, maybe take him to heavyweight, maybe bring him back down to 85, whatever it is we want to do with him, we can move on from the 205-pound division. Okay, and I think you just have Ankalaev there and ready to fight whoever it is at that moment. Let me silence this because that was my bad.
Oh, I was looking around my computer. I'm like, where did my notification go off?
And I think that's a good opportunity for them to either to do this rematch, and then if they do get the win, you turn around and you run it back again for the 3rd time, because this division's it's held up right now. In terms of what I mean by held up is no one's really standing out, and they've all kind of fought each other at the top. Alex has beat everybody in that top 5, and Ank has kind of beat everyone as well. So these are the 2 best guys. So if Alex does get the win, you run a 3rd one for the trilogy fight, and you see what happens, and then you go from there. But I mean, let's get past this first fight. I like this fight. I like it because I want to know what kind of changes Alex is going to make. Let's not forget, Alex has only got, 11 or 12 fights in his whole career?
He's
So I think
12-3, so 15.
15
So, I
fights.
mean, still a low number to be 38 years old and one of the best fighters on the planet.
Yeah, not only that, but then 2 division champion. Did it
Yeah.
faster than I think anybody else. What, 9 fights into his career, he was a 2 division champion. It's fucking insane, right? Something along those lines. So those are all things that like he's still trying to figure out how to be an MMA guy. And the what he's accomplished in his career is absolutely remarkable. So I'm not ready to knock him like a lot of people I hear knocking him, and Ange being one of them, and talking about how like, oh, he's just a stand-up guy. He hasn't really evolved and this and that. It's worked for him. It's worked for him. His styles work for him. He's got power. I do think that Ankh is going to wrestle a little bit more in this fight than he did in the first fight, but he's only going to threaten it. He's not going to force it, and it's going to be a fun fight. I think it's going to be better than the first fight.
Yeah, I mean, what was interesting about the first fight, so what's funny is the first fight was not very competitive at all. Ankalaev, like, very clearly won that fight. I know Alex Pereira went on a little angry rant after, "Oh, you just held me against the cage," whatever, but it actually was more than that. He didn't just hold him against the cage. Like, he also almost finished him on the feet. And that's what made this, like, an interesting fight to me because the good news for Alex is he defended every single takedown and got one of his own. And that was the big question. Can he defend the takedowns? He did. His takedown defense looked incredible. He got his own takedown on Ankalaev, like trip pushed him kind of deal. And the idea was if he defends the takedown, he'll be able to outstrike Ankalaev. But that's not what happened. Ankalaev is the one who almost knocked out Alex Pereira. So you could look at it one of two ways. You can look at it and say that was unbelievably straightforward. Ankalaev dominated pretty much the whole fight, almost knocked out Alex. What are we doing? Or you could look at it and say, listen, Alex was so focused on the takedowns and so worried about the takedowns, he didn't really let his hands go, which is true. He was kind of gun shy in that fight. And now that he knows he can defend the takedowns and he doesn't have to worry about that, he might let his hands go. I mean, this is the first time Alex has had a real meaningful loss in a while.
Mm-hmm.
And if he just let his hands go, it might have been a different fight. So we may be in a situation where Alex trusts his takedown defense, lets his hands fly, and maybe it's an entirely different fight. Or it's more of the same. I tend to think it's going to be more of the same, but there at least is enough question marks there. And Alex did have success defending the takedowns that maybe this time around he won't be in his own head. He won't be gun shy and he'll just do what he's going to do and kind of change the narrative here.
Yeah, the devil's advocate would say this, though. The more he opens up, the more likely he is to get taken down. And the
Sure,
reason why
yeah.
he didn't get taken down very much is because he wasn't throwing punches. And it's hard to shoot raw dog on somebody, and get in deep enough to get the takedown when they're not throwing shots. They're just waiting for you to shoot, waiting for you to shoot. And that's another reason why he got clipped in the first fight. He almost got finished is because he kept waiting for the shot to happen. He wasn't really paying attention to the punches that were coming at his face. And so you can look at it in a bunch of different ways. Opening up, sure, I think it's going to create more success and the potential of winning the fight, but it could also potentially put him on his back more often. And I think that Ankalaev is good enough to hold him down.
So if you're Alex's coach, so what do you do here? Because I'll tell you what I'll do, and then you tell me if I'm right, wrong, or just just
You go
genius in
first so I can
general.
make fun of you.
Yeah, no, I would like listen. You already lost this fight. You are no longer the champion. This is basically your last crack at a belt, honestly, unless they just force some nonsense at heavyweight, which I was hoping they would actually do. But 2 losses in a row is much harder to just shoot you into a title fight at heavyweight. Anyway, if I'm his coach, I would basically say, listen, you might get taken down this time, but what we're not going to do is lose a decision backing up. You need to let your hands go. If you get taken down, trust your jiu-jitsu. Maybe we give up the round or scramble back to your feet, but I don't care. Let your hands go because if you hit him once and he feels the power, his shots will get worse and worse and worse and worse, and the takedowns won't matter. Fuck the takedown. Don't worry about it. Move forward, throw your hands, and make him nervous. Don't wait for anything. Like, you have nothing to lose. You've lost this fight. You have nothing. You don't have a belt. You literally have nothing to lose here. Just throw hard.
Yeah. I don't mind your approach. I was expecting a lot worse from you, but I don't mind your approach. To be honest, I think he takes a page out of the Jan Blachowicz book. He's got hard kicks. Kick that inside calf, and you're hitting bone on bone. You obviously have, I think, the more powerful kicks if you're Alex, and you really start hitting the calf kick inside, outside, and make it and take away that power so he can't shoot. So I think you do that, and you do that early, and you do it often. Also, too, every time you're jabbing towards the chin, like right below the chin, almost right in the chest. So as he goes to lower his level, I'm sticking the jab right in his chest, kind of knocking him off balance or at least stopping his momentum so he can't penetrate. Those are kind of the little things that I'm doing. And then see what happens as things start to open up. Is he looking to wrestle? Is he looking to close the distance? If he's going to look to just continue to do what he did in the first fight, then I can go ahead and start opening up on my striking a little bit more. But I'm going to start early and often on those calf kicks and those leg kicks really fast, because we've seen before he's had problems in fights. I believe he was running away with that fight on Jan. And then
chopped his leg out. Yeah.
Jan just started chopping. He couldn't even stand. And so I think if you get to business, and those things have a tendency to come back a lot sooner. I've had guys that have fought calf kicks, have got their legs torn up in calf kicks, and literally like for 6-8 months in training could not take a calf kick in training.
It just stayed. The bone stayed sore.
The bone stays sore. The muscle, it flares back up pretty easily. Justin Wilcox lives in Cincinnati. I think he lives in Pennsylvania or Pittsburgh now, in Pennsylvania.
But where he lives is definitely important to this story.
Yeah. Sure. Anyways, but he was fighting a kid out of I can't remember where he's from. But anyways, really good calf kick. It was kind of early in the calf kick era of it starting. Man, for 6 to 8 months, he couldn't take calf kicks or kicks. He couldn't even grapple with the shin going across the calf. And then even when he did come back and he had 1 or 2 fights, he couldn't take calf kicks at all. 1 or 2 hard ones, it was over. Like, he's just like, I can't stand. And so I know that Rory McDonald, in his fight with Douglas Lima, they actually tore the muscle. The muscle swelled so much, it tore off the bone. Ugh. And so, like, that's damage that's going to last you a lifetime. So there are things, if you get back to that bone on bone, you're kicking the bone on the inside leg kick, and on the outside you're kicking the muscle. It won't take long for him to have success with those calf kicks.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously that's a solid game plan as well, especially because he could do the calf kicks without having to worry about it getting caught or a takedown from there. It's too low. If he's going to lower his level that much to try to catch a calf kick, then I mean he's got other problems if he's that desperate. So yeah, I think it's either one of those. I think we both agree, no matter what, do not wait. Don't wait to see what he's going to do. Go do what you're going to do.
If you're Ankalaev, do you change up your game plan, or do you just keep doing what you're doing for the last one? Because you did have success. Like, nothing seemed like it was not working for you in that last fight.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Ankalaev, I think you just do more of the same. I think Alex does not fight nearly as well backing up as he does moving forward. He's great at moving forward. So if you're Ankalaev, it's the same logic I did for Alex with, hey, you defended the takedowns. You felt the takedowns, you defended them. It's not a big deal. Ankalaev is, hey, you felt the power. What power? You were the one who almost finished the fight. Move forward. If I'm Ankalaev's coach, it's literally move forward. Stay in his face, move forward. This guy hates backing up. Just stay in his face. Yeah. And that gets rid of your leg kick game plan too. What's he going to do? Plant while backing up? Then he's definitely going to get taken down. So, yeah, I think it's just move forward.
Yeah, I guess. What do you think about the co-main event? You got Cory Sandhagen versus Merab Dvalishvili, or whatever you want to have. Whatever you say close. It. I didn't. It wasn't as bad as Uncle Chael. Just want to make sure that we're all on the same page. I didn't butcher it as bad as Uncle Chael. What is your take on this fight? I know that many people are just writing off Cory Sandhagen. It's not going to be close. He's going to get taken down. He's going to get mauled. I have a tendency to think that that's not true. I think that Cory's going to make this a lot tougher fight than people are giving him credit for. And I think he learned a lot from the Umar Magomedov fight. And he's going to actually utilize his movement slightly less so he doesn't get tired. And his takedown defense in that first with Umar was great up until he started getting tired towards the end of the fight. Sure. So rounds 4 and 5, from all the running he did in rounds 1, 2, and 3, he started to slow down, which is understandable. But in this situation, he cannot get tired with Merab, which I think is going to be very tough for him to do. Merab's got a gas tank from hell. I want Cory to win. Nothing against Merab. I want Cory to win. It would be nice to have an American champion. I mean, even though Merab's American now, but it would be nice to have an American champion.
Actually, Merab's American in that he's not from here, but he came here. He loved this so much. He became an actual citizen.
Yes.
He's not just living here. He can vote.
He's a citizen now. Yes. Love it. Absolutely love it.
That's American. He's American.
He's American. So, I mean, like, I'm looking for, hey, maybe he'll end up on the White House card now. We got to have one American fight there.
I mean, he's the embodiment of an. He's the same. That's what my parents did. They came here. They loved it. My mom became a citizen like 5 years ago. Like, just it took that long. And then she was like, she didn't want to become a citizen forever, not because she didn't love it here, but she just felt like she was abandoning Italy. And then she was like, no, this is my life. This is my home. So then
Yeah,
she
once
did
you
it.
realize you're not really ever going back to live, it's like,
Yeah. Who
okay,
cares?
yeah, just lay down some roots. Let's go.
And she was here longer than she was there, and she raised her family here. You know what I mean? So it's like, at
Man,
a certain point, this is your home.
she was
Like
getting
I
like separation anxiety, huh? Like I can't.
like Texas is gonna become my home. Like it's gonna take a while for me to be here longer than I was in Connecticut. But like at a certain point, I'm a Texan now.
Do you think that?
I'm never gonna say y'all,
Yeah,
but I've already started to adopt like I've lost a lot of my edge. I'll tell you that.
really?
I'm not nearly as aggressive as I was. Not even
It
close.
just comes because you're old too.
I think people are just nicer here. So like
Yeah,
if everybody else, and I'm a big like I'll match energy. Like if you come at me aggressive, I'm aggressive. But if everybody's just nice, it's hard for me to just
it's
be
hard.
Northeast
Yeah,
aggressive edge for no reason at all. So
yeah.
like I've definitely lost a lot of my edge being here. A
It's
lot.
funny because we had our birthday dinner on Saturday night for my birthday, and it was funny. You came through, wife came through, and stuff. Kids were all there, and we took a look around the table. Everyone's from San Jose. There was
Except me.
only there
Except
was
me.
yeah,
Yeah, and
you and
Tiffany.
Tiff, and then Mike and Mari, one from New York, one from California. She's from Southern California though,
Yeah.
and our realtor, and he actually is from the Bay Area too. Yeah,
Yeah.
they live in the Walnut Creek area there, which is just up like an hour north of us. So yeah, they're all from that area. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
hilarious. It's funny how you just kind of meet the same type of people and you click with them. But I agree with you. People are extremely nice here, so it's hard to have that negative.
It's hard to just be nasty for no
Yeah.
reason. But
Uh,
Merab, how about that transition? But Merab is managing to be nasty in these fights. Listen, I have to pick Merab. I don't. I think Cory is probably one of the toughest matchups in the
yeah.
division because he's a dynamic striker, because he has grappling. He also has solid cardio. I know the Umar fight was a little different, but there's also probably a level of nerves. At that point, Umar had not lost, and even his loss has an asterisk next to it. At that point, he had not lost. He's like the boogeyman of this division, insane wrestling, insane cardio. Like, I could see the nerves kind of getting the better of you. Like, nobody gave you a chance to win that fight. It's a long fight, whatever. So I can see sort of, getting tired in that fight. But I think Cory has good enough wrestling to at least defend early. He
Mhm.
has good enough scrambles, good enough jujitsu to hang. His striking is good. Cory is probably the most well-rounded person Merab has fought to date. I don't know if that's going to matter. You know what I mean? Merab's endless cardio. I mean, if I look at who Merab has beaten, he's obviously very clearly a better fighter than Sean O'Malley, but he's not a better fighter than Umar Magomedov is. He won that fight with just raw cardio and pressure and determination. Same with Henry Cejudo. At the time, I wouldn't say he was better than Henry. It was just raw, nonstop pressure, cardio, determination. Jose Aldo, he's not better than Jose Aldo. Raw, nonstop pressure, determination. And that is just his biggest asset. So I think Merab wins the way he always wins. He might give up the first round or two
Yeah.
and then just completely take over. But Cory's probably the toughest, most well-rounded fighter in the top 10 of the UFC for Merab.
Yeah, the reason why I'm not picking Cory to win. I'm saying I would like Cory to win.
Yeah.
I'm leaning more towards Merab, just to be honest. But I do see there are ways. People are overlooking Cory, so I kind of want to cheer for Cory because I love the underdog effect. I look at him and I think he, like you said, he is the most well-rounded person I believe that Merab has had to fight. I've trained with Umar. He's extremely well-rounded. But he wasn't that good of a wrestler when I was training with him all the time. He was still learning and getting his feet wet in the wrestling world. He had more of a Taekwondo style stand up, very explosive, had good foot sweeps, good body locks, those kind of things. But he wasn't a straight like single leg, double leg type wrestler. It was more of that sambo, judo, foot sweeps, that kind of takedowns. Extremely talented. I look at Cory and I look at Umar, they're probably equally the same. I'd put maybe Umar or Cory a little bit more in terms of being a little bit better, more rounded. But with Umar, he's got two skills that are just a lot, I think, better than Cory's. But Cory can establish right off the bat against Merab on how he can dictate the pace of the fight. The distance, the range, all of those things with his striking, his takedown defense is awesome and amazing. He just got to be able to do it for 5 rounds. And we're going to find out if he's made those adjustments since the Umar fight, if he can do that for 5 rounds. He's a true pro. So I'm looking forward to this fight. It's going to be a lot better fight than people are giving it credit for.
I agree. I don't see Cory just spending 25 minutes on his back. I don't see it going down that way at all. And I want Merab to win, and then I want Umar to win. Umar's fighting end of October, Mario Batista,
Mhm.
because I want that rematch. Because if you guys remember that fight, Umar won the first 2 rounds, broke his hand, started to slow down. Merab took over.
Mhm.
I would like to see that rematch. Who else has taken rounds off of Merab in the last 5-6 years? So I would like to see that rematch.
Yeah,
So
I
I want
agree.
them both to win, and then just let's see that one again.
Total
Healthy.
homer on my side. I would absolutely love to see that rematch as well. Selfish reason
Yeah,
for myself.
yeah. So we have the two title fights, the main, the co-main at UFC 320. The featured fight, you could argue, is weak but fun. Joe Pyfer, Abus Magomedov.
Got it.
That's a fun fight. Joe Pyfer has shown he hits like a freight train. He's continuing to. I don't know if he's evolving actually, but he's continuing to show up. He's landing clean. He's showcasing the power. He's getting the wins. He's grinding it out. And Abus Magomedov was kind of a not who they said he was going to be, right? He came in, Sean Strickland finished him.
Mhm.
Kyle Barallo beats him, but then he put together a couple of wins in a row. Most recently, Michel Pereira, Bruno Ferreira before that. None of those are top 10 type wins, but I think this is a perfect matchup. And we'll find out, is Joe Pyfer that guy? Can Abus be that guy?
You must have a different because I'm from the UFC website. I've got Yuri and Khalil as the fight right before that.
I'm looking at the Tapology fight order,
Gotcha.
which is typically better than the UFC website. But
Oh,
yeah, I mean,
really?
yo, dude, the
Okay.
UFC website's the worst. They have fights on there that have been canceled already. Like that it's
Yeah.
for as big as they
Okay.
are, it is crazy how bad their website is.
Gotcha. Okay. Look, with the Boost fight, I think Joe Pyfer gets it done. I think he touches him. I think he's gonna have to deal with the speed and the activity in the first round. But I think he's gonna find Abus's chin, and at some point, sometime he's gonna go down. And Abus, I think, has shown as he starts to slow down, he will start to fold. And so as
Yeah,
long as Joe Pyfer doesn't get caught coming in, or he doesn't gas himself out trying to finish him, but then both of them will be tired. Abus has been known just not to have great cardio. He fights at a very rapid pace. Like if you guys understand what that means, is he jumps all over the place, wastes energy in every different type of position, every different type of way, but he does eventually survive himself, survive getting out of these positions. But then he's so tired, he has nothing left to give. So I've seen him, watched him fight several times where I'm like, damn, you've got all the skills, but you waste so much energy doing things you shouldn't be doing for no damn reason at all. And that's the worst part. And he doesn't know how to relax out there. Everything's thrown 100 miles an hour and it's super aggressive. And if it's blocked or checked or anything along those lines, he gets tired. Joe Pyfer to me is got a little chip on his shoulder. You can see it in all of his interviews. And I like the way he
he's
fights.
angry at the world for sure.
Yeah, I like the way he fights. Now I know he got tired against Jack Hermanson, I think is who it was, right?
And Kelvin
And
Gastelum. He
Kelvin
gets
Gastelum.
tired in every fight,
He
honestly.
gets tired, but I think he's gonna have to learn. I think hopefully we're gonna find out if he does, but I think he just got to make sure that if he does touch Abus's chin, he doesn't try to go for the kill. He picks and chooses his shots and then starts to get him out of there because Abus will get tired as well, trying to survive.
Yeah, I think it's a perfect matchup for Joe for those reasons. Because Joe does fade as fights go on. The power goes away. He's either finishing you early or the power's gone. Right? He's
Mm.
not getting a late finish. But he is a clean, accurate striker. There is power there. He can wrestle as well. We saw that a few fights ago. So he's got all those skills. The cardio is definitely the biggest issue, but he's matched up against somebody who also has random cardio issues. So I do think it's just a perfect matchup for Joe. And to your point, if he does get a boost rocked, I mean, it is 3 rounds, so I guess it depends when he
Mhm.
gets him rocked, but he's got to be careful to not just go all in
Yeah.
because then he can end up slowing down. But it's a 3-round fight. I need Joe to win, and then let's get him in another 5-round fight. Let's get him a second shot at
Mhm.
another 5-round fight. See if the cardio's improved because he faded against Kelvin, but Kelvin's Kelvin. It's like punching a fire hydrant. So
Barrel chested, will take a
yeah.
shot, give a shot, and it's got great cardio. Got that true Mexican body and that true Mexican cardio from all them tacos.
Did you see his coach say he has an eating disorder?
Yeah.
What a wild thing to say.
It is what it is. You miss weight at 85 too. I'm a huge Kelvin Gastelum fan, man. But bro, get your weight under control. Let's go, buddy.
It is.
Then the Yuri Prochazka versus Khalil Rountree. What's your thoughts on that fight?
That's a tough one. That's a tough one because that's a great fight because Yuri Prochazka, we all know he's tough. He's crazy. He's dangerous. Yuri Prochazka can do a whole bunch of stuff. Khalil Rountree, clean, fast, technical. And now we know since the Alex fight, we now know how insanely tough he is as well. So I think this is a great fight. We have seen Khalil both get after it, try to rip somebody's head off, as well as like in his last fight against Jamal Hill, be technical, stay on the outside, not put himself into harm's way.
Mhm.
I think this is a phenomenal fight. My gut and my brain are split here. My gut is just like Khalil, but then my brain's like, I think it's got to be Jiri because he's just a zombie. Like, what are you gonna do to Jiri to stop him from moving forward and staying in your face? And the answer is almost nothing. So I'm gonna pick Jiri Prochazka, but Khalil's, in my opinion, the better actual fighter here.
Mhm. Yeah, Yuri's just all over the place. He is, I believe, also getting a little chinny. He's been hit with some big shots, obviously
Oh
by
yeah.
who it makes a difference. But Khalil Rountree's got power as well. I mean, he had Alex rocked. He's knocked out several people before. So I get into this mix of Yuri is kind of leaves himself open to get hit quite a bit, and he can get caught, clipped, and clean. And I think Khalil can do that. I also believe that Khalil Rountree learned a lot from his fight with Alex and from the guys that he's fought since then. And I think he believes that, hey, I deserve to be in here. I am as good as I thought I was. I just needed validation, and he got that with the Alex fight, and dealt with the power there. Did some good stuff, and it was just kind of the process of him just coming out and being aggressive. And in this fight, I think he's gonna have to do the same thing. He's got to allow Yuri to just be funky, stay slightly out of the range. And when he's slightly out of the range, he will go ahead and be able to touch him left and right. So I think Yuri just has a tendency to leave himself open. And when he leaves himself open, it ends up being a problem with guys that have the power that Khalil Rountree has.
Yeah, and I mean that is true. We've seen him take beating after beating after beating, and outside of Alex, he takes the beating and he just zombies his way forward. It'll be interesting. I mean, this is a great matchup. If I'm looking at Topology, so Topology takes votes on who people think they will win. Out of 1,300 votes, 82% of the people have made a pick. Right, this is a very very decisive audience here. Who do you think they picked?
Khalil
82% of
Rountree.
the people. No, 82% of people pick Yuri.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, people are positive Yuri wins this
Why
fight.
is
I'm
Khalil
surprised.
not
This
get
is
the
60
respect?
40 to me.
Yeah, I feel like it's more of a 60-40. I can see that.
Yeah, to me, because I'm picking Yuri as well, but I recognize how clean, how fast, and now we know how tough. It's not like we've seen Khalil quit or
Yeah.
break. In that Alex fight, he took a beating
Mhm.
and just continued to move forward, continue to move forward. I am surprised to see it's 82% of the people picking Yuri, but I get it. Yuri, I mean, his only two losses really in the last however long are to Alex Pereira,
Yeah.
and one was a sloppy decision.
Yeah, I look at Khalil, man. He does never gets the respect he deserves. He's 15-6. I mean, like, but his losses are to some really good fucking fighters. And
Yep,
Yuri, though, is the same as well. But he just, like I said, he fights so wild, so crazy. He leaves himself out of position a lot. He is very hittable, and he has been knocked out as of recently. He's been knocked out, so they're still there. And as you get a little bit older, and that chin starts to go a little bit, you never get it back, and it just takes one good hard shot to put you right back into the shadow realm. So I think
sure.
that Khalil's got that opportunity and that chance. I could see why people go with Yuri. I'm not counting him out. That's not the thing because he is all over the damn place. And so you don't know where the punches are coming. You don't know what he's going to do. He might try to do a fucking forward roll, axe kick. You never know what the fuck that guy's going to do. He may try to do an Anthony Pettis jump off the fucking cage kick. Like he's weird like that. It's awesome to watch. I love watching
Yeah.
him fight. But when you're coming down to it, I think Khalil's got the cleaner striking and he has the potential to touch him and put him out. So we'll find out.
Yeah, that'll be a very fun fight. And then the last fight on this main card, Josh Emmett versus Youssef Zalal. And the reason this is a good fight, two things. One, Youssef is streaking right now. If you remember a few years ago, he had a couple losses in the UFC and they cut him.
Mhm.
Then he went back to the regional scene, got a bunch of quality wins, came back to the UFC. He is now 4-0. But if you look at his losses and he was cut, who did he lose to? Ilia Topuria, where he won a round. A very close competitive fight with Ilia Topuria. Then it's Sang-Woo Choi, Sean Woodson split decision. A lot of people think that should have been his. And Sean Woodson's what, 12 and a half feet tall at that weight class. So
Yeah.
just a little bit awkward. But then he went back to the regional scene, fine-tuned the wrestling, he went from like a distance, almost French style striker
Savant. Yeah. Savant.
to, yeah,
Striker.
to now he's an aggressive grappler. He gets after it. The striking's a lot cleaner. He's coming off a win over a top 10 Calvin Cater. That was first 2 rounds were clean. Third round, he literally was just running away, which didn't earn him any points with the fans. But it's a great opportunity for Youssef Zalal. And I know Josh Emmett did not want this fight. He took it begrudgingly because Josh Emmett's like, listen, I'm old. I worked my way to the top. Keep me in the top. And the UFC's like, dude, you have lost to all of them. So now what are we going to do?
Yeah.
So they're just using him to build up a young kid.
Yeah. Yeah. It's Dustin Poirier had to do it with Saint Denis. Other fight, Gilbert Burns had to do it with somebody else as well. Like you've got to do it. Like this is what it is. It's you've I don't want to say you've wore your welcome out of the top 10, but you're in that mix where you fought all the guys and you haven't been able to get to the title. You're getting older and they know what they've got to do. They've got a younger kid who's got good energy and he has a good fighting style. He's definitely evolved his game. It's one of those feel good stories where like he was cut, did his work, went out and got some wins. Now he came back and he's just on fire. Like you said, Ange, you should be the guy that writes the pitch for this type of shit. Like, oh, he left, he was cut. He's, but look at the guys he lost to. And look, now he's 4-0 and he's going to fight Josh Emmett. This puts him right in that top, 6, 7, 8 position and making a run towards the title. That's the story that the UFC can build on. Unfortunately, it's going to have to come at Josh Emmett's demise, but we'll see. Josh Emmett can still hold on to it. He just got to put him away. He's going to have to wrestle a little bit. Josh is going to have to. He's going to have to wrestle. He's going to have to let the hands go. Like he has a tendency sometimes to chase after and not pull the trigger. So those are the things that he's going to have to deal with during this fight. He's got to pull the trigger, man.
We did see some more wrestling out of him in his last fight. So he obviously is just coming off that decision loss to Lerone Murphy. Lerone Murphy, just younger, faster, cleaner striker, was basically the story of that fight. But Josh Emmett wrestled more than he had in the past. So Josh Emmett, for years, we talked about what a good wrestler he was. I think he was a D1 wrestler and a wrestler. Then, like every other wrestler, gets a little older. Wrestling's hard as hell. Knocked a few people out. Then he's like, what the hell am I shooting takedowns for? I have power in my hands. And then just completely abandoned it.
Yeah.
But then a couple of losses later, and now he's just trying to fight for his career. He started wrestling again. So we saw some of that in the Josh Emmett fight. He got some takedowns, a much heavier wrestling game plan that he had been using the previous couple of years. So I am interested in this matchup. I was surprised. I think Youssef Zalal was like a 3-1 favorite. That was a bit surprising. Yeah, that was a bit surprising to me. He should be the favorite. He's younger. He's faster. He can wrestle. He's got his own technical striking. But to me, this seemed more like it should have been, I don't know, 1.5-1 for Youssef. Like Josh Emmett isn't a bum. Like his losses, we talked about Ilya's losses. His loss in the last couple of years, Yair Rodriguez, Ilia Topuria, which was a decision, which nobody's getting to a decision with him since that fight. And then a decision to Lerone Murphy. I mean, these are also quality losses. And there is a world where Josh Emmett is, number 7 on the planet. Youssef Zalal is number 10 and 7 beats 10. So I do think this is a fun matchup.
Go back to those, the Ilia Topuria fight and Josh Emmett. Was that a main event?
It was a fight night main event.
Fight night main event. So 5 rounds. Okay.
Yes.
And then the same thing, Ilia Topuria versus Yair main event.
You mean Josh Emmett versus Yair?
Yeah.
I don't remember if that was a main event or not.
Okay.
But he got finished. He got finished in that fight.
There was another one that did Josh.
Lerone Murphy was a 5-round main event.
That was the 5-round main event. I think why the betting odds are looking at Zalal, he can stick and move for 3 rounds. He's the faster fighter. He's going to be able to stick and move for 3 rounds and win the decision. I think that's why they took him at 3-1. I think is what you were saying, 2-1, 3-1.
Sure.
I think that's why. It's like
3-1.
He can stick and move. He's the faster fighter. He's got the cleaner striking with the boxing and the kicking. And if he needs to stuff some takedowns, he can. He just got to stay out of the clinch. He can't afford to be underneath Josh Emmett for too long. He's got to get back up to his feet. So I think that's why they're giving him such good odds.
Yeah, I mean he's the favorite betting wise, and Tapology the overwhelming favorite again, 83% of the people. So there are as many people confident in Youssef Zalal to win his fight as there are in Jiri Prochazka to win his, which I'm honestly surprised by that. I get the confidence in Youssef.
Yeah,
I'm surprised at the level of confidence in Jiri compared to Khalil. But either way, we have a really fun UFC 320 fight, and a great way to get back into things, because not only do we have UFC 320 in October, we have UFC Rio, we have UFC 321, and then UFC Vancouver all in October. October is going to be a spectacular month for fights.
Let me run you all the way down to the second fight on the prelims, which is going to be Patchy Mix and Jacob Wicklax. Talk about damn, no
A
respect.
fall from grace. What a
I
fall
mean,
from
look, I
grace.
understand they're gonna make him earn his keep. I get it. I understand this. This is one of those shit or get off the pot. They were not happy with his last performance. They don't care once you decide to take the fight, whether it's 10 days notice, 2 days notice, or 5 weeks. It doesn't make a difference. You chose to take that fight. You put yourself in that position. We need to see something out of you, and we're gonna put you on the prelims and show you that, like, hey, if we don't see it and we don't see it early, you might get your walking papers by the end of the show.
And it's not even just that Patchy lost because he lost to a good fighter. It's how he lost.
Yeah.
He did nothing. He did literally nothing. It was a boring, miserable fight where he didn't even try to win. He didn't shoot a single take. Like, what are we doing? Like, if he went in there and he lost and he put on a show and he was getting after it and just, it would have been a very different reception.
Mhm.
But to go in there and do nothing, like the way Aaron Pico lost, people, the fans are clowning him because he got knocked out and he was a big favorite. But the UFC, I'm sure Pico's comeback fight isn't going to be against the UFC debut in the prelims. It'll be a very different matchup because he did come out. He brought the fight. He is exciting. He's very dynamic. Like, yeah, he got caught in a wild spinning back elbow, but he wasn't boring.
Mhm.
Rapace showed up, lost, and was boring, which is
Yeah.
just like literally the worst possible combination if you're the UFC, you just spent money on him.
Yeah, I give the flashback to when he lost to Juan Archuleta in his first loss that he ever had. That was a very similar situation. He dominated the first 2 rounds, though. In this fight, he did not dominate the first 2 rounds, but he dominated the first 2 rounds against Juan Archuleta, and then he got tired. And then it was literally him doing what he did against
Batista.
Batista, right? Just walking after him, taking shots, and not really throwing back because he was tired. And that's
Yeah,
exactly
empty
what I
pressure.
saw in that fight the whole time. It was basically like I felt like I was watching that fight again in the Juan Archuleta fight, and then this fight, watching him just walk after him, not cutting the cage off, and just taking shots. Hopefully, we see a whole different patch because I know how good he is. And every guy that he's ever trained with, all they do is talk about how great he is. But you got to get the fight to the ground. Your bread and butter is that you've got to go out there and impose your will. And Wicklax is it's not an easy fight. It's a very tough fight for him. So if he doesn't get this fight down early, it could end up being target practice as the fight goes on the feet. So
Yeah, I mean, Wicklax obviously UFC debut, but he's
mhm.
also a phenomenal grappler. So it's not as if Patchy's just the light years better grappler. And actually, maybe he is, but
Yeah.
Wicklax is also a very good grappler. He's
Yeah.
not nobody.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll see, right? Hopefully, Patchy runs through him,
Yeah.
right? Like, hopefully that's what happens. That's the idea here. Patchy runs through this kid. Okay, he doesn't suck. It was just a tough night out again on somewhat short notice against the top 5 guy.
In your debut.
Yeah.
That's the other
Yeah,
part.
and Mario Batista's got a big fight coming up. Maybe he wins that, and all of these things just sort of level out, and the perspective is different 2 months from now. But yeah, I mean, it is a very good fight card. Interesting fight order. This might change come fight night, but I'm looking forward to it. And it's just nice to be excited for a freaking pay-per-view.
I'm excited just to have fights back, like real
Yeah.
fights back, big names all across the card. I'm pumped for this. I'm looking forward to October. October, let's go. Show me the money. Show me the money. Let's go.
There we go, guys. Let us know what your favorite matchup is on the 320 card and the rest of the month. My name is Angelo. This is Josh Thompson. That was another Bad Takes.